6 million Jews were murdered. They weren't murdered because they were criminals or did anything wrong, just because they were Jews. My name is Joseph Alexander, and this is my story. I was born in 1923. I'm now 107 months. I'm a Holocaust survivor from Poland. I come from a small town named Kowal. We had a very good family. We were very close because my father was in business and we were doing very good. We were called modern Orthodox. Matter of fact, we had a synagogue in our house. We had a very good life in 1939 until the Germans came into Poland. Everything fell apart. Until then, we in Poland, we had no problem. After a few weeks, the Germans came to town and told the people they have 10 minutes to get their possessions and get out in the middle of the square. And they took them away. They came out to order all the Jewish men from 16 to 60 report to the schoolhouse. So I reported to the schoolhouse and off I went to the camps. So the first camp I went to, we were building a dam. The work we did was very hard work, and the food you were getting was a piece of bread like this in the morning and a cup of coffee, and you went to work. So people were dying. From that food, you couldn't survive. The next camp I was laying cobblestones on the street. Then I moved to another camp. We were building sewers. We were laying big cement pipes on the ground. These were the uniforms we were wearing in some of the camps, not all. Then I moved to another camp. I was a roofer doing roofs. And so far, going from camp to camp, after being in 7 camps, a train arrived, and it wasn't a passenger train, the cattle car train, where they put 30, 40 people to one boxcar. In the destination we were going, it takes maybe 5, 6 hours at the most. Where we were riding around for 3 days, no food, no water, no facilities, nothing. Finally, we arrived in Auschwitz, and I met Dr. Joseph Mengele. Dr. Mengele, called Doctor of Death. He selected people for human experiment. He's going to select some people to go to the left. The people on the left are going to be taken on trucks. So he went through, and he picked out sick people, old people, young kids, and I was a little guy, and so told me to go to the left. If I would come from home, I wouldn't know the difference. But I was already in 7 camps. In most of the camps I was, every time I had to go to work, I tried to get in with a group with the biggest, strongest men. And here I look around, I see sick people, old people, young kids. That's not the kind of people I like to be with. But my luck was, it was after midnight. It would have been daytime. I don't know if I could have done it. When Dr. Mengele moved further down, I ran back to the other side. I didn't run back to the other side. I wouldn't be here talking to you today. Because the people were taken on trucks. Found out they went straight to the gas chamber. And I walked to Auschwitz, and I went to Auschwitz, I got a shower, came out of the shower, and I got a tattoo. It's 142584. From that moment on, you had no name anymore. This was your name. In the morning, the same train arrived, and we got on the train, and we were on the train for 3.5 days. Same thing, no food, no water, no facilities. And we went to Germany, to a camp named Dachau. Dachau was the first camp Hitler built in 1933 for political prisoners, Then he turned it into a concentration camp with a gas chamber. I saw people being beaten to death. I saw people run into the electric fence to get electrocuted. And the next morning, what they called, we were going on a death march. They're supposed to take us into the mountain, and they're supposed to kill us in the mountain. So we walked about 2 days. We could hear the fighting going on, so we knew that the American troops were not far behind us. The American tank moved in and we were liberated. And behind the tank were the American troops. I was 21 when I was liberated. I had my parents, I had 3 sisters and 2 brothers, and I'm the only survivor. Family means everything to me. You have no idea what I would give just to have one brother or sister survive even. So I got on a boat and I came to New York in May 30th, 1949. When I came to New York, I was about 25. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. That's the best country in the world. If I couldn't live in the United States, I would go to Israel. If we would have had Israel at that time, that Holocaust would never happen. Yes, I kept my faith. I know a lot of people, a lot of survivors said they didn't believe in God because they were asking where was God when the Holocaust happened. But I say God works in mysterious ways. If we don't speak about the Holocaust, then people will forget what happened. I've talked to hundreds of high school students. 70% of them never heard about the Holocaust. 6 million Jews were murdered. They weren't murdered because they were criminals or did anything wrong, just because they were Jews. And now we still have a lot of anti-Semitism going on and Holocaust deniers. The most important thing is through education, to let them know what happened and to get them educated, because the young people, they are our future. Some of the students asked me, did you ever thought of giving up? I said, no, I never thought of giving up. I never lost faith. I never stopped believing in God. And I used to say to myself, I may have a bad day today, but I hope tomorrow will be a better day. But never give up. Thank you for watching, and please make a donation.